Tracelight has many use cases, but three of the main ones are model review. Say you've received a model from a junior in your team or from a client and you want to quickly understand what's going on or do a detailed review. Building analysis, either from scratch or maintaining or changing an existing workbook. Or exporting outputs into client deliverables, for example, into PowerPoint, Word, or HTML. Let's start with model review. There are a few ways we can review a model using Tracelight, but let's begin using prompting within the chat window. Prompt Tracelight using natural language as if you were talking to the person who built the workbook. Just as with a human, the more specific and directional you can be, the better the outcome. If not, Tracelight will work with you to deliver an output you're happy with. It just might take a bit more iteration. Chat history below the box allows you to jump back into older conversations. When using chat, you can toggle between three modes: agent, control, and plan. Agent will complete the task in one go, after which you can review the entire change set. Control will complete the task in steps, giving you the chance to review after each step. And plan allows you to view Tracelight's proposal, giving you the option to iterate before executing the task. Plans are also able to be downloaded and shared with colleagues and clients to show them how a task has been executed. Now let's have a look at Trace. At the top, you can see a navigation pane, which gives you a location reference of where the cell is on the sheet. At the bottom, you can see an AI-generated explanation of the formula. If you want to jump into the precedent tree, you simply need to hit Enter and use your keyboard to navigate through each branch. You can also toggle the view to see an array as an arrange, values, or labels. Now we can look at the Audit tab. Here we can run an error check on the worksheet and view live checks which are continuously monitored. The error check is a much more powerful resource than traditional Excel error checks, which are limited to simple heuristics. Now with AI, we can go through every single cell on the sheet and determine from first principles if the formula is achieving what the user wanted. You can browse through the errors and fix or ignore them. Live checks pick up hard-coded values, complex formulas, and Excel errors. Again, you can browse through these and determine if they're permissible. Okay, now let's build some analysis using the chat function. Within the chat, any green flags are clickable buttons which will take you to the cell reference. Now let's build some analysis using a saved workflow. You can access your workflow library at the top of the chat pane and execute workflows by hitting / and typing the name. A workflow is simply a saved prompt, typically a large prompt, but it doesn't have to be. The key is that you're repeating a task often. Using a workflow automates this process and speeds everything up. You can see that Tracelight is thinking and validating its own work. That's because it does not use your workbook as a scratchpad. It is doing all of the computations in the back end and will only produce something when it's happy with the output. The goal of Tracelight is to keep the human in the loop. The idea is not to hit send and walk away, or produce an output which you don't understand or can't review. The agent will ask questions if it isn't sure how to proceed, and outputs are created dynamically and easy to review. Now that the change set is complete, we can review. You will notice that the output is in a different format to the underlying source. This is because we've used a style guide. Just like with workflows, we can save prompts as instructions which we can toggle on or off. In this case, we have the Tracelight style guide selected, which ensures that any output is generated in the way we want. You can create style guides for internal use or for clients. Let's review the change set by hitting the review flow. Within this window, we can individually review each formula or look at the color map, which shows us the type of formula it is used. That way, if you review one formula, you can be happy that all related formulas are working. It's just the cell references which are different. You can also get Tracelight to do charts for you, which can be quite cumbersome in Excel. Tracelight can also web search. For example, if you wanted to translate these amounts in another currency at today's spot rate. Leave feedback directly in Tracelight using the thumbs up or thumbs down buttons. This way, our support team can quickly see the problem and address any issues. Now let's go through how to export our Excel outputs into a format which you can present either internally or externally, e.g. in Word, PowerPoint, or HTML. You can upload documents to the chat box, for example, PDFs, Excel, or PowerPoints if you want Tracelight to interact with them. In this case, you could upload a branded company template and ask Tracelight to export the analysis into the template. Now let's have a look at the PowerPoint. Click to open in the browser and simply hit download. You can also access our compare tool through the chat window. Here you can upload the before and after of any file you've been working on, and the tool will show you every single change which has occurred between the two files, including any formatting changes like additional or deleted rows and columns, and any cascading effects of computational changes in cells. Here we have an AI summary of the changes between the two files, and we can see that some new rows have been inserted and a new column. We can also see that the exit multiple has been changed from 10 to 12. If we toggle to show computational changes, we can see the downstream effects of the edits.